that is what determines the decision-making capacity. This can be trained. The node, the knob of the node can be turned to the left or to the right, which means whether it can conduct that information or it do not conduct that information. And after so much number of training, this setting can be adjusted automatically. We are not adjusting anything. We don't, in fact, know what is happening inside a deep learning neural network. If it's a large network, we humans does not understand how the things are getting set inside the network. Then comes the deep learning, which means it's neural network, but it have more layers, which means it's very deep. If a neural network contains only a single layer, this deep learning system contains multiple layers, maybe hundreds of layers or thousands of layers it has. And inside these layers, there will be interconnections between the nodes. And because of these deep network of neurons or deep neural network, it's called as deep learning or deep, which means the length, the depth of the number of layers is very large. Then inside that deep learning, we have generative AI and natural language processing. Generative AI is in fact the magical field of deep learning. Deep fake videos. There is so much controversies regarding deep fake, which is basically the video generated by AI. You can generate images with AI. In fact, if you just type generate an image of a handsome boy riding a motorbike, the motorbike will be there, the boy will be there. In fact, that boy does not exist in the entire universe. It's a generated image. It's a generated face. Maybe there will be resemblance, but that face does not exist. That boy does not exist. In fact, it's a generated image. Then inside that, we have the magical thing, that's large language models. It's one of the, the best thing that happened in the entire century, I will say. If you are already used to chat with a chatbot like ChatGPT, you know how capable it is. It's a general model. In fact, there were models before. We were using deep learning, we were using neural networks before, but those things were specific for some specific task. For example, there were image recognition deep learning networks, which will just recognize things inside the image. That's it, the objects inside the image. There are deep learning networks that can predict values, maybe weather prediction deep learning systems that can predict only the weather. These systems, before the introduction of large language models, these systems were specific to those particular things. But here we have general systems which can take anything, which can solve anything. If you give ChatGPT some, you can find an attachment button in the ChatGPT. You can click on that attachment button, upload the Excel sheet with some data, and ask ChatGPT, what will be the prediction of sales next year, the same day next year? It will go through your entire Excel sheet. It will give you the prediction. Then now our ChatGPT is a data science engineer. Then next time, if your friend is having a congestive heart failure, you got his ECG as a PDF. Upload the ECG to ChatGPT. Then ask ChatGPT, dear ChatGPT, pretend like you're a doctor, you're a heart surgeon. Go through this ECG graph and check if this person is having a problem with his heart or not. ChatGPT will give you the diagnosis, the explanation for that ECG report than any experienced surgeon in the world. Then ChatGPT is the doctor. You can write assignments with ChatGPT, then ChatGPT is your assistant. You can write code with ChatGPT, then ChatGPT is a coder. So it's a general AI, and this is going to be improved in the coming year, and we'll be reaching a singularity. There's a point singularity where this intelligence will be equal to the human intelligence, and that's it. That will be the end of the world. I don't know what will happen afterwards. Maybe the world will end. These AI things will take over humans. That's a point of singularity, and it's happening much faster than we actually thought it will happen. Anyway, and what makes this large language model large? Just like Jennifer ma'am said, we have nodes inside this. You know, you know, these are the nodes. You can see some nodes are conducting and some nodes are not conducting. That property it acquired because, yes, Emil.
Sir, if AI is going to kill humans, then why are we going after AI?
that's a that's a dilemma actually. Uh, we have control over AI until we give control of AI for an AI. You know, we should be the controller for AI. If we give that control of controlling the AI for an AI, then things are out of our hands. Okay, I don't know how could I answer that, but anyway, it's going to happen. Maybe uh, after some 30 years or 40 years, it will happen. In fact, we discovered the atomic fusion and atomic fission, and it's killing people. It killed so many people in Japan. Why we are discovering that it has its own advantage. We are using the nuclear fission for our nuclear reactors. We are making power out of it. We are making electricity out of it. But we are using that to kill people also. So there are uses for AI, and in fact, 90% of you people will be out of your job. The only job that will exist will be a human-powered job. Like you cannot replace a, a mason who is building your house. You cannot replace him. He have to go there and mix the cement and sand, and he have to build your house. But you can replace that engineer who is drawing the plan for your house using AI. In fact, almost all the white collar jobs will not exist. You cannot replace a surgeon who will go to the patient, who will operate the patient, who will suture all the things inside the patient, the organs inside the patient. That job cannot be replaced soon, but maybe there will be robots will be coming up. But the treatment plan, the diagnosis, the pharmacy, all these things can be replaced with AI. So white collar jobs will be replaced. All the jobs that require human effort will be retained. You cannot build a road with AI, but the plan for building a road can be automated. So be cautious. Upskill yourself so that you can control the AI. Okay, we were discussing what is making the large language model large. In fact, it is the number of parameters that we have inside this network. And also, you can see as the number of parameters increases and the number of layers increases, the complexity of the network increases, and that makes the large language model large. That's one of the point. Then the next point that makes the large language model large is actually the enormous amount of, the sheer amount of data that it will be trained in. If you are building an AI and natural language processing AI, the large language model, it will be supplied with enormous number of text samples to train itself. So these are the two things that makes actually large language models large. The number of nodes, the number of layers, and also the enormous amount of the large amount of text data. And now in few minutes, we will learn how this LLM works. I'm sorry, I'm taking so much time to explain things. We have a whole set of things to be done. Okay, let me finish it as soon as possible. How a large language model works. In fact, this is the working principle of large language model. If I am giving a prompt, you should always give a prompt to the large language model to just start the process. For example, to ChatGPT, you are giving a prompt saying, sing me a famous nursery rhyme about stars. That's a prompt. That's the initial prompt you are giving to the ChatGPT. Like I said before, ChatGPT cannot generate a chunk of text. It can generate only a single word, one by one. So what you will do is you will send this prompt, this initial prompt to the large language model, and it will just spit out few words. And these words will be arranged based on the probability. And the word with the most probability will be picked here. You can see here we have a set of words, sure, well, okay, what, do, will. That is, if I ask you, like, sing me a famous nursery rhyme about stars, you may say, okay, sure. That will be your first response, isn't it? So ChatGPT also will make the first word of its response. So this will be his response. I'm picking sure because it have the most probability. I'm picking that. So the first response will be sure. In the next request, this is the first step. In the second step, I will be joining together the initial request plus this generated word. That is, sing me a famous nursery rhyme about stars plus whatever the word that ChatGPT generated. Sure. Then I am sending it once again to the large language model. Then what happens? It will generate the next word or the next punctuation or the next comma or next quotation, whatever it's coming next. Okay, so ChatGPT will analyze the entire text in me a famous nursery rhyme about stars. Sure. Then what could come next? Yes, sure. There's an exclamation. Okay, it will give out few things, and exclamation is having the maximum probability. So I will be taking exclamation. The next step will be to include that exclamation also along with the prompt. So I'll be sending the entire thing once again to the large language model. The model will be processing it and it will generate the immediate next set of words. And it will arrange the next set of words that could come after this in an ascending order of in a descending order of probability, you can see. And is here got the maximum probability. So the next word will be here. So my sing me a famous nursery rhyme about stars will generate sure, then an exclamation, then here. And in the next step, of course, just like how you think, we will be passing along with this initial text, sure, exclamation, and here. We will be passing that to the LLM, and it will be generating the next set of words. And I will pick the most probable word, which is, and I will add that to the next request. So the next request will be the entire text plus all the generated words to the LLM, and it will generate the next word, which is A, which is having maximum probability. I will take everything, and in fact, after some 70 steps, this will be the output. If I ask, sing me a famous nursery rhyme about stars, it will take sure, then exclamation, then here is a classic nursery rhyme about stars. You know, inputs after getting the first word as output, join it along with the input, send it to the GPT, it will get the second word output, join the second word along with the first word, along with the initial request, send it to the GPT, it will give you the third word. You know, based on, you can see how each word will be generated in ChatGPT. It's not generating you an entire paragraph. It will be generating word by word. This is what happens inside a large language model. In fact, it's very simple. It's very simple means you are generating only the next word. This large model is generating only the next word. And using that next word, and the entire text it already generated, it will be predicting the next word. That's it. It's very simple. But because of this sheer amount of data, this large amount of data, it need a very large network to process the entire amount of data. That's why it's very large. That's why we need a GPU, the graphic processing unit for processing everything in parallel. Okay, and let's now see the difference between DeepSeek and its competitor, which is OpenAI. OpenAI, we have been using it. The ChatGPT model, we have been using it. The latest GPT model is 4.0, and the latest DeepSeek model is version 3. This ChatGPT is a large model that will take your text and process it to the entire, that is, it will supply it to the entire network. But in DeepSeek, it will be dividing this network to little pieces of, little sections called as a mixture of experts. There will be a section for chemistry expert. There will be a section which is physics expert. There will be a section which is medical expert. So if your query is based on, for example, if I'm asking about any disease, maybe um, uh, maybe some disease I'm asking about, maybe corona, I'm asking about a disease. That request that will be sent to that particular expert processing section. So only that much number of neurons will get activated. That's why we can run this DeepSeek in our computer. In ChatGPT, in OpenAI model, the entire network needs to be activated to process our request. But in DeepSeek, they are using this mixture of experts. And because of this architecture, based on the category of the request, only that particular number of nodes will be activated. And it will take only less memory, less CPU, less GPU than running this GPT. And it's very cost effective because of this architecture. And these are the different other features that is differentiating DeepSeek and OpenAI. I'm not describing all of things because of the time constraint. And this is the difference. In fact, this DeepSeek, the amount to train DeepSeek was only less than $10 million, where OpenAI required around 6.6 billion, which is 60, I think it's 60 or $60 million. So it's almost 1/10 of the expense that DeepSeek took to compared to OpenAI when training. And it was found only 2 years ago. So these people, even though we are having some tensions with China, these people are really wonderful. They were really successful in generating this kind of a very lightweight but efficient AI model. And let's see how we can set up DeepSeek R1 in your local computer. I'm really sorry I took a few more minutes while explaining things. Are you clear about what we have been saying so far? Shall we proceed with this? Do you have any doubts? Yes. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. All right. I just now I noticed the question that you asked. Would I need a GPU capacity to use it? No, ma'am. You can run it in your computer, but it should be some Core i3 and above. You cannot run in a very old computer. You have to be having a computer that is which can run Windows, maybe Windows 10 or Windows 11 kind of a computer. Okay. All right. So let's see how we can set up. And before we proceed, why should I set up it locally? First thing, the first point is that it's open source. I'm doing it because I can. I cannot set up ChatGPT in my local computer because it's closed. The model, the source code is closed. You cannot set it up in your local computer because I cannot get that. but I can host DeepSeek in my computer because I can, because it's open source, it's already available. So anyone can download them, anyone can download the model. In fact, you know, maybe after the session, you all can do it, host it in your computer. And specifically, why we insist on hosting it in your local computer is because, you know, no offense, we cannot trust the Chinese people. They are, in fact, very thirsty for our data. That's why our government is banning the Chinese apps like TikTok and all, because they are getting the data from us. Maybe they will be using that data for training these kind of models, and also maybe they are using this data for marketing purpose. You know, so many things. They are misusing this data. In fact, we think that they are misusing the data. I don't know. I'm not the person to. It's a geopolitical issue, and I'm not in a position to say that in certain. But you know, we suspect, the government suspect that they may be using the data for other things. So it's better if you if you just go to your browser and browse for you know, DeepSeek. Can you see the screen? Let me share the entire screen. 1 second. You know, if you go to deepseek.com, then click on Start Now. In fact, you are communicating with the Chinese server. This server is hosted in China. Okay, so you're communicating with the Chinese server, and I'm logging it with Google. In fact, all my Google details are going to the Chinese server. I'm safe because it's a Faith Infotech email ID. But anyway, the entire information is going to a Chinese server, and I am uh, creating a new chat. Sorry, all right. In fact, I am creating a chat. Which is the best electric car I could buy? Just I am sending it a chat. You know, it's giving me. You can see. In fact, even though it is generating it very fast, you can see it's word by word. You know, just like how we discussed, just like the method that we discussed. It's taking the entire thing and predicting the next word, taking the entire thing and predicting the next word, adding that word once again, predicting the next word. You can see word by word it is generating things. And you know, now the Chinese people know that I'm looking for an electric car. Maybe they can use this for marketing. And whatever the data you give, it's going to the Chinese servers. We don't have any control for that. That's why it's better if you host it in your computer. You can just disconnect the internet. It's working in your computer. We are not using their server. Okay. Anyway, and now we will see how we can host it. We have to install the first tool in your computer called as the Olama. Llama is a kind of a goat. They gave the name for a model called Llama, and it's a model designed by Facebook, and the platform that hosts all the open source models are called as Olama. It's a tool designed to simplify the process of running a large language model in your computer, so that you don't have to mess up with all the configurations. You don't have to mess up with all the things. Okay, you can download Olama by going to the website. You can search for Olama in Google, and you can see this is the Olama website. You can click the download button, and you can click whatever the operating system that you're having. It has the Llama application for Mac, then Linux, and also for Windows. You can download for Windows, but you can download. I already downloaded it. It's around 745 MB in size. So if you're writing down the steps, please write down the step. The step one will be to going to the Ollama website and download the latest version of Ollama. I will uh, write it in the comment. You can note it down. Go to the let me see 1 second. I will do one thing. I will type the steps for you, and I can share the steps because the session is not getting recorded. That's why. So the first step will be to go to the Ollama website and download the latest version of Ollama and install it in your computer. That will be the first step. The Ollama website. This will be the link. You can see. This will be the link. You can go there. You can click on download for Windows. In fact, almost all your computers can run this. Okay, and I downloaded it. I downloaded it yesterday, and you can see it's around 745 megabytes in size. You can download it, and you can double click and start the Ollama setup, and it will look like this. You can download it, and you can run the setup. It will just start a setup window. You can click next, next, next. You don't have to configure anything. It's simple next, 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 and click on install. It will get installed in maybe in some 5 minutes in your computer based on the speed of your computer. I have a Core i5 computer with me, so it installed in 5 minutes. Maybe if it's a Core i3, then it will take some 7 minutes or 8 minutes. That's it. Just proceed with the installation. And once the installation is complete, let me have this presentation in a presenter view. Okay. Once you have it in your computer, you can see it will automatically start, or else you can click on this, the Ollama icon, and it will start, and it will, if it will not give you any window, it will just start, and it will be there in your tools window here. Okay. Here you can see Ollama is running. And this Ollama does not have any graphical interface and all. So shall I type that also? Once installed, Llama icon will be in the, what you call this section, what is it called? The right side section. Cube section or tool section. I don't know. Toolbar maybe. Right bottom toolbar of your. Okay. Now this Ollama does not have any user interface. It does not have any UI. Okay, let me close this. It does not have any UI. You can just view logs and quit Ollama. Those are the Ollama. Those are the two options available. It can be accessed only through command line. Okay, so if you go to command line, go to CMD in your command prompt. You can see this is your command prompt. In the command prompt, type Ollama, and if it's installed properly, if it's having it in your computer, then it will give you the list of options that you have. It have these commands, so create, show, run, stop, pull, all these are llama commands, you can see. Okay, and let's see the next step. So you can go to CMD of your computer and type llama, and it will give you the list of options. Okay, let's keep it like that. For the time being, let's keep it like that, and we will move on with the next step. So we already saw that llama is an application that will make a large language model run in your computer. And now we install llama. We will now need the model. We now have a blank llama in my computer. Now I need a model to be installed or model to be hosted inside my llama application. And in order to do that, I can go to the llama website itself. You can see in the llama website, there is a tab called models. And if you go to the models tab, you can see the different models. You can see here, this is the llama model, which is um, from Facebook. Then so many models are there. There is a Mistral model. Then the model that we are looking for is actually on top because we are sorting it based on the popular model. You can see DeepSeek R1 is the most popular one here because people are searching for that. People are running behind that. You can see 9.1 million pulls till now. It was updated 2 weeks ago, 9.1 million. The next model is having only 1.1 million pull. It was updated 2 months ago. You can see how popular this model is. Let me zoom in. You can see how popular this DeepSeek R1 model is. You can click on that, and here you can see the different models that are available. If you click on this drop down, you can see the model we are trying to install is the 1.5 billion parameters. Just like Jennifer Ma'am said, billion parameter means the nodes, the number of nodes inside. We can say, maybe we cannot call it as node technically. It's the layers, we can say, inside the large language model. That's a network. So it have 1.5 billion parameters, and the entire model will be 1.1 GB instance. Okay. Then the next model is having 7 billion parameters. That's why, because of this large number of parameters, it's called as a large language model itself. You know, we saw that there are two things that makes the large language model large: the large number of parameters, and yes, 1.5 billion parameters. Yes, Emil, yes, 1.5 billion parameters. That means this is the most lightweight model that's available. Then comes the 7 billion parameter model, which is 4.7 GB. Then an 8 billion parameter, which is 4.9 GB. And the most advanced one is having the size of around 1.3 TB. That is 130, no, 1300 GB. No, our computer cannot host that because our computer is having only a maximum of 500 GB hard disk space. And in fact, running an 1 GB model will in fact take almost all our CPU and almost all our RAM. So running that large model is not practical in our computer. Maybe if you're having good GPU, like if you're a gamer and you're having a powerful GPU, it could be possible. But for our CPU computer, I recommend either using 1.5 billion parameter 1.1 GB model or maybe 7 billion parameter 4.7 GB. Okay. We will do one thing. We will try with the 1.1 GB parameter model. Okay. So let's select this, and you can see as we selected it, it will give us the command to run in the Olama. This is the command we should run in our Olama. Let me copy this, copy, and then go to my command prompt. Let me clear this. Okay, in my command prompt, I am pasting this command. Olama run DeepSeek R1 model. That is a very basic model. Okay, that's a very basic model. We are going to run this model. And if the model is already not there in your computer, in your Olama, it will download it. It's around 1.1 GB in size. You can see. I don't know how long it will take. I'm using a GeoFiber connection. 3 minutes. Okay, it's fine. So let's wait for 3 minutes. 6 minutes. Okay, 8 minutes. Okay. Anyway, 10 minutes. Let's wait for it to complete. Meanwhile, I will type the K. Or go to the Llama website and click on the models menu on top. Then select the model you want. We are selecting the 1.1 GB R1 model. The command to run will run in Llama will be displayed. Copy that. Go to the Llama CMD and paste the command, and it will download the model. So let's wait until the model is getting downloaded. Meanwhile, if you want to, you can write these steps. Could be, I don't know why we cannot record the session. Okay, so these are the commands, and let's wait for it to get downloaded. So give me a moment. Did it start again? It's only 28, 27%. Okay, let's wait for it to complete. We have no other option other than wait. In fact, my geo connection is holding good, 3.7 MB per second. Even though they say like 30 MB per second, but I'm getting only this much. I don't know why. Maybe because of the rush hour. Yeah, I tried, Ashika, I tried recording option. It's saying recording unavailable. You are not allowed to record this video call. I cannot record it. Okay, fine. I don't know whether that screen recorder will get the audio. I don't know. Maybe it will. Okay, fine. Anyway, as a backup, we are writing down the steps so that you can try it. This will be the command. Let me copy this and paste it in our notepad. This is the command. Then go to the llama command prompt and paste the command and enter. Not the llama command prompt, it's Windows command prompt. The size is 1.1 GB. Yeah. Yes. Our 1.1 GB is almost here. You can see. Hope in between I'm not losing my connection.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, Sachin, please.
Yeah, so depending on the model which we are downloading, the accuracy also will be based on that, right?
Yes, that's a problem. As we download the lower models, we have this much number of models. In
Yes.
fact, if you download the lower model, the accuracy will be very low. That is, if you ask something, it may say something else. No, if you ask it to, I asked it to give me the popular nursery rhyme by describing stars. It started giving me something else.
Yeah.
So
So in order to have a full-fledged system, we need to go for a higher model ones.
yes, of course, at least this 4.9 GB model is required. But this 4.9 GB model can also run fine in a i5 computer.
Okay.
It will, but it will
Without
take
relying on GPU or
yeah, without relying on GPU, you can run in a CPU computer. Till this 4.9 GB, I think it will run. But the response will be slower, but still it will run. But if you have a GPU, then you are lucky. You can run the 43 GB or I don't think not 4 GB will run with our commercially available GPUs. 43 GB will be running fine if you have a GPU. If you are a gamer, you may be having that separate GPU-based
yeah,
computer.
dedicated GPU. Yes, I have.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
In that case,
Thank
you
you, sir.
can.
Yeah.
All right. And this DeepSeek company has promised that when they develop new model, they will also make it open source. So it's always will be listed here. As our computing get faster, as we have more and more GPUs available, we can download the higher versions of this model. Yes, we have our LLM running, and it's waiting for the message. That means the model is now running. What message should I give? Hello, DeepSeek, deep. Just a message, just some text, and it will thinking, and it will be giving me back the reply. Oh, that was fast. This is a reasoning model. These kind of models are called as reasoning models. You can see when you ask DeepSeek about something, it will at first think, how can I find a how can I check if a diamond is pure or not? Just some random text I'm typing, and you can see this is where it is thinking. And this model is kind of a reasoning model. It will give us the thinking process also. Why it is giving that reply? It will give us. Here the same question I'm asking our locally hosted our computers DeepSeek model. How I can find if a diamond is pure or not? A random question I'm giving, and you can see it is thinking. Yeah, it thought it had the thinking very fast. Okay, leave it. We can give Control C to stop the generation, the text generation. Let's ask something. I asked the rhyme yesterday. Sing me a rhyme, a popular one about twinkling stars. Oh, it had it very fast. Actually, when I ran yesterday, it was about stars. Let's ask the model itself. What question will make you think for a while before you can give me an answer? Let's ask him itself. Yeah, you can see here the thinking was very fast. Nothing was there for thinking. It gave reply very fast. But here you can see it is thinking. That is, this is not the answer actually. This is how it is thinking. This is what it is going on inside his brain. Why I should give you that answer? That is being taught here. This is not actually the answer. This is the model thinking. Why should I give an answer? How should I give an answer? How do you feel when talk about something you don't like, or have you ever been? Okay. This is how it is thinking, and you can see maybe after so much thinking, it will give us the answer. It is thinking. How do you feel about the idea of me? Okay. So I think thinking stopped somewhere in between. Can you find? Okay. All right. It's not our priority now. So whatever that is appearing inside this think box, this think what could I say? This Uh, Tag. Okay. In this think tag is actually how the model is thinking. And after that, it will give us the reply. So this is our actual reply. This is how the model is thinking. Okay, leave it. We are running out of time. Actually, we had to conclude by 11 o'clock. Okay, let me stop this. In order to exit out of this prompt, I can press Control and D. You can see I exited out of the prompt. Okay, so that was all for Llama. And one more command I'd like to introduce is Llama list, and it will list you all the models that you have installed. This model, this is the largest model. You can see the large model than the 1.5 billion parameter which I installed yesterday. And if you want to run it, Llama run DeepSeek R1 17B, and it will run that model. You can see it's a large model. That's why it's taking so much. This model I downloaded it yesterday night. Okay. And now I'm asking this model a question. The same question I asked to the R1 1.5 billion model, I'm asking it to the R 1.7 billion model. Thinking, okay, the user is asking for a nursery rhyme, twinkling stars. You can see how it is generating each and every word, just like how we learned. Picking up the entire thing, passing it to LLM, then the next word will be generated. Take that word also, pass it to the LLM, then the next word will be generated. Take that next word, pass it again. You can see how bit by bit, word by word, it is generating. Okay, leave it. So this is the response. Help me send a leave letter to my boss asking for 2 days leave. I'm not feeling well. Okay, it's thinking. All right, user. Uh, Thinking is. Let's do one thing. This model is very slow. We will switch to the other model. Control D. And Control D. Then switch to the other model, 1.5 billion model, and then the same message. Subject line. This is the thinking process, you can see. Okay. Let's say it's not bad, even though it's a small model, it's not bad. You can see. Yeah. Thinking ended here. It was thinking for this much number of, it was thinking, and we can see what he is thinking, he or she, I don't know, is thinking. And after the thinking, we have the answer. Subject, request for leave. This is completely offline. If I disconnect the internet, I will lose the call. If I disconnect the internet, also it will work because this model is now in my control. Okay. That's it. Enough magic. Let's exit the prompt here, and we will move on with the next step. You can see the problem is that we are not having a UI. It's not always good to have a command prompt. Okay, we need to have a UI. We need to have a user interface so that we can have a user interface like this, like our DeepSeek or ChatGPT. We need to have a nice user interface. So in order to have this user interface, in order to build this user interface, we can use another uh, open source UI, web UI called as the Open Web UI. It's also open source. No one will question why you are using it. Okay, it's open source. You can use this web UI. Let's see how we can install this web UI into your computer. In fact, you can install web UI. It will give you an interface just like this. You are having your own ChatGPT, your own interface, your own UI, just like exactly like how ChatGPT is having. You can sell it for money if you want to, because it's open source. Okay, so let's see how you can set up a UI like this. You can set it up directly using Python, the Open Web UI. Let's go to Open Web UI website. No, this is the Open Web UI website. Come on, yes. This is the Open Web UI website. It's open source, it's free. You can download it. You can install it. No problem. But the thing is that in order to install it using Python, using the pip command, I hope you are aware about the pip command. Using pip command, if you try to install Open Web UI, it will give you tons of dependencies that need to be installed prior to installing this. So it's not a practical option to install it. If you have all these dependencies, then okay, it will install. But installing all these dependencies is not practical, and it will your computer will not stand that. Installing all these dependencies. So we can make use of something called as a Docker. Do anyone have an idea about what is a Docker? I'm sorry, it's taking so much time. Maybe 30 more minutes it will take. I'm really sorry for taking much of your time. Can anyone let me know? I just want to see if you are already there, or anyone. What's a Docker? Are you people there? What is a Docker?
So I'm not sure, but I think it's an application where we can like simultaneously run multiple applications, something like that.
Yes, Emil was kind of, he said was kind of right. Docker will enable us to run virtual machines in our computer, virtual operating systems in our computer. That is, if you're having an application which will run on only Linux and yours is a Windows computer, you can run a Docker that will take only very minimal space. It will have a virtual Linux installed inside it, and all the dependencies for your program, it will be installed. And you can, the advantage is that you can transfer this Docker. You can send this Docker along with this operating system, along with all the packages need to be running the program. Along with the program, you can send this Docker to other person. He can just use that Docker, run that Docker in his computer, whether it's a Windows computer or a Linux computer or a Mac computer, and the application will run because it is running in a virtual machine. That's the Docker. Since we are having this kind of a problem when installing OpenWeb UI using Python, we are having all this dependency problem. It will be better if you can run it using a Docker. Okay, and you can download Docker from. You can download Docker. just go to docker.com. Okay, let's include in that. Okay, go to docker.com, then click on products. Here you can see Docker desktop. Click on Docker desktop. And if you scroll down, download Docker desktop, you can see. This is a free application. You can download it for your Windows, your Mac, your Linux, whatever the operating system you're having. I have already downloaded it. You can see. Let me show you. I have downloaded it yesterday. Uh, it's around 500 MB in size. You can download it. That's a setup file. You can download it. Just like how you install the Llama, double click, run, click next, 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 next. That's it. No configuration, nothing. Just keep on clicking next and finish. And the problem is that it will take around 15 minutes to install. Even if you have downloaded, the installer will take around 15-20 minutes to install. That's why I have already installed it in my computer. You can see I have downloaded it and I have installed it. This is how the installer window will look like. You can just keep clicking next, next, next and install it. And once installation is complete, you will be getting a window like this. And once you have the Docker installed, you can just click your start, then search for Docker, and you can see the Docker desktop. Click on that, and it will open Docker. Okay, now we have our Docker running. Oh, I think we forgot to include that in our steps. Then what was the next step? Do you remember what was the next step? Llama run, then yes, that's it. Now it will give you the prompt. You can type the question you want to ask, and it give you answer. Okay, whatever. That's it. Then to have a nice UI for the chat app, we have to install Open Web UI. To install Open Web UI, we need to download the Docker desktop application from the Docker website and install it in the computer. Then that's it. Now the next step is you can go to the website. Here you can see. Go to Open Web UI. In the docs section of Open Web UI. Okay, click on docs. You can see there's a doc session. Click on that. There you can find the command that you want to run in the Docker. So the next step will be to nan. Go to the docs.webui. There you can find the command to run the Docker for web UI. Copy that and run it in a command prompt. Okay, here, this is the command. This will be the command. Here's a, you can see if a llama is in your computer, that means a llama should be installed in your computer. Okay, then you can use this command. I'm copying this command, copy, and then I have to go to the prompt again, my command prompt again. And sorry guys, it will also need some time to download. Let's go to the command prompt. CMD, go to the command prompt, and now paste. Right click and paste. The prerequisites are, what are the prerequisites? Llama should be installed, then at least one model should be running in Llama, and then Docker should be installed in your computer. These three are the prerequisites. Then go to the OpenUI docs page and copy this command. This is the command. Copy and run it in a command prompt. Enroll. I think it's already there. I tried it yesterday, or else it would have. That's good. Or else it would have taken some other 10 minutes to download this Docker. So let us have it in the steps. Copy and run it in the command prompt. The command is, this is the command. Then it will download the Docker image of Open Web UI. Once completed, go to the Docker app window, and this Docker will be listed there. Okay, let's go to the Docker window. You can see now my Docker is running. If you want to stop, you can click on the stop button. That means the Open Web UI is running in your computer. Those who have learned Python Django framework or any React framework or any JS framework, you would have already run the server using your command prompt, and it will be running in port number 3000 or 4000. I hope you know that. Those who are already in the course, you know that how a server is running. Similarly, we have a Docker, a virtual machine, a virtual server now running in our computer, and this is the URL. You can click on this URL, and you can see it's a localhost URL. You have to sign up. Okay, you have to sign up. I think you need to sign into Open Web UI. We need to create an account, but still you have to do it only once. You have to create it only once, and you can go to the Open Web UI, and you can create an account. Let's click sign in. I can create an account, enroll the username. Maybe I can enter the username. What should the username? Letters and digits only. Okay. Okay, that's my username. Then the email. This is my email. Then some password. I can copy this password. Copy. Then unlock. Okay. Now I have the account. Let's now sign into our can see using this account, we can sign in. What was the email? Faithinfotech.in and the password. Click on sign in. Why it's saying like that? This is the password. Sign in. Okay, what happened? I don't know. Uh, Maybe I can use my other account. Let me go to my other profile that I have. Web UI. Open web. Sign in. One second. I don't know why it's. I don't know why it's taking so long. Let me see. Localhost. Yes, I think I can do it from my personal account. Sign in. Okay, I am now logged in. You can see. I'm sorry, guys. It's taking so long. I know. Okay, almost we are reaching the end of the session. You can see this is my own ChatGPT. I have my own ChatGPT. It's running in my local host. It's running in my computer. If you have an AWS account, if you have a DigitalOcean account, if you have a Google Cloud account, you can host it in your server and give it out for free or maybe for money. I don't know. Okay, here I have the model DeepSeek R1 1.5B. How can I help you today? What are the things that you can help me with? Okay, so I have the Llama running, I have the Docker running, and now I am having the web UI. Inside the web UI, It is thinking. If I click on this, you can see how it is thinking. Is it really thinking? Maybe it is thinking. Yes, it is thinking. Let it think. And this thinking is taking all our time. Uh, you know, it is thinking and giving us something. I don't know what it is. Control C. How can I stop this? Okay, let me stop. Here is a stop. Code and repertoire. Okay. Execute code for analysis. Okay. Write a Python function to print multiples of 5. Thinking? Is it thinking? I probably will need a GPU. Yes, thinking. That's what does it mean by a number of it? This is how it is thinking. You can see. Okay. Anyway, after thinking, it will give you an answer. After thinking, maybe it will provide you with a Python code. I don't know what is there so much to think. Okay. All right. And since I have 2 models installed in my computer, I can add one more model. Let me stop this, and I can add one more model here. The next model I can have is my 7.6 billion parameter 7 GB, 7 GB or 4 GB model. Okay. So now I have 2 models. Okay. Let me send a message. Or just a simple message. You can see both the models will be processing it parallelly. In ChatGPT, sometimes you will be given a choice to pick the best out of this. Like that, I have the 1.1 GB model, which is giving me back some reply. Here I have the 4 GB model, that is the model with 1.7 billion parameters is giving me the reply. Both are thinking. Of course, 2 models are running. It will take a little bit of time. Here, maybe in Docker, we can assign few more. In Docker, you can give a little bit more resource. Maybe you can supply a few more RAM and few more things so that it can give you the reply. Thinking. Okay, think. Meanwhile, let's write the steps. Okay, let it think. And here we will write the step. That's the Docker app window, and this Docker will be listed there. And the Docker will be already running in our case, and click on the link to open the URL. This is the URL. If it's the first time, then Open UI will ask you to sign up, and then sign in. And for subsequent requests, it will not ask you anything. keep that login. What's it? Okay, it's very slow. Maybe because I'm running two models now. I can stop one model just in case. But this is how you can run two models in parallel. I'm running an 1.1 GB model, that is 1.5 billion model, and 7 billion parameter model. You can see 1.5 billion and 7 billion. You can see it's around 5 times the size of this model. So even if this model started thinking, this is still preparing the thinking. Even this didn't even start the thinking. That's why you may require GPU kind of computer. But anyway, if you're running only this 1.5 billion model, then of course you can get the result. Maybe still it's slow, but you will get the result. Okay. If you can host it in a cloud, then allocate some GPU and it will be running faster. Okay, that's it. Let it generate. Let it think and generate. Okay, this one started thinking now. Oh, very slow thinker. Okay. It will be more accurate compared to this because this have more parameters. The thinking here, the thinking is a little bit refined. Not little bit, actually, it is very much refined. Okay, now we are going to the last part of our program, our webinar, which is to run a llama in your Python program. Okay, that's it. That's it, guys. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. Running a llama in your Python program, your locally hosted llama in your Python program. Okay. So I hope you are halfway through your Python sessions. Okay, let's open Visual Studio Code. And this is the last thing. Let me stop. Let me stop this. Stop thinking. Let me close this. Close. And let me stop my container. Stop. Okay. Stop it. That's it. Now my GPU, my CPU and memory is free. So it will be a little bit faster. Let's now see the last part, which will be to how you can integrate this llama into your Python program. Let's open Visual Studio Code. Hope you're familiar with Visual Studio Code. And those who are in the Python, okay, let me create a new my chatbot.py. And my chatbot.py, I'm saving it in this folder. Hope you know this. The Python people, no, the Python full stack development people, hope you know this. If you don't know this, then all right. Anyway, we just created a Python code. We just created a Python program. Now, in order to use a llama inside your Python code, this is a typical Python program, print hello world, will print the simple hello world, you can see. A simple Python program. Now we will see how we can include our chatbot inside this Python program so that you can create a web application out of this and you can sell it for the people you want. Okay, you can download a really wonderful heavy model and you can sell this chatbot to people. Let's see how we can do that. Let's go to this terminal and then install the llama package. pip install llama. Make sure that llama is running in your computer. Here it is running. Okay, fine, it is running. Now we are installing the Python package for llama. pip install llama. Selecting llama. Yes. Downloading, installing all the dependencies. You can see these are the dependencies. Okay, that's it. Installed. Now let me go to my Python program, and then here I am importing. Let's print something. Welcome to my wonderful, cute little chatbot. Whatever. Okay. And here I am importing what's a command. What's how we can comment Python? Is it hash? Yes, hash. Importing the llama library using import llama. Then let me zoom in. Okay, import llama, and then we are running a function called generate. Run the generate function to generate the response. And the generate function llama dot generate. Okay, llama is having some problem. Okay, give it. Llama dot generate, and let me see if a llama can be imported. One second. Give me a moment. One second. I think I have to top up. Maybe. All right. Is it fine now? Ashita, is it fine now? Is it okay now? Okay. So let's finish it as soon as possible. All right. So in order to import a llama, you can let me see if we have any problem importing a llama. Yes, a llama is important, no problem. Fine. Now this is the function that we are going to use using the generate function. Not run, actually call the generate function to generate the response. And the generate function will take few arguments. The first argument will be the model. We have to supply the model equal to, let's give the model name. The model name, we can go to the command prompt, or in fact, we can go to the command prompt here. Here itself, we can get the model. What is the command? Llama list. And you can see these are the two models that we have. I want to run this model, the R1 model, this model. Copy. Select Control C to copy that. And the model, I'm giving the model name. This is the model name. The second parameter is the prompt. Maybe we can type the prompt here. Question equal to explain what is oops in programming. That's my question. Very technical question. Now, and the next is the question. And then what happened? Okay, comma. Is it right? Oh, I'm sorry. prompt equal to question. Okay, this is how you should keep. Then it's a keyword argument actually. Keyword argument in Python, where we need to supply the parameters with a keyword. Then the next, next, only two arguments. Okay. Then we are getting the response, the answer or the response from the model like this. And just print the response, that's it. And this response is actually a list. We have to print it like this. Print the response, and inside the list we have the response. That's a key. Okay. Printing the response from the model. That's it. So we are importing our llama library, then llama package. In Python, we will call it as package. Llama package, then this is the question, and we are calling the generate function. Into the generate function, we are passing the arguments, the model that we want to run, then the prompt that we want to ask. This is the question. And then we are receiving the response. Run. Okay. Let it run. Waiting for it to run. Llama is running. Okay, llama is running. Let me see, maybe because it's the first time I'm running it. It is thinking. I don't know how long it is going to take. Okay, the Django team in Python for Tech, you can try this. You can create literally a wonderful, UI, and you can use this 4 lines of code in order to make it happen. I don't know why it's taking so long. It's in fact instantly, because I'm running the meeting and also I'm running everything in parallel. That's why my computer is slow. That's why it's taking so much time. And meanwhile, if you are interested in learning Python full stack or AI or data science, we have really nice collection of courses that you can use. You can learn. Let it generate the output. Meanwhile, we will go through the courses that we have. In Python for Tech, we have the career programs in Python full stack and data science. Then we have for .NET, we have for Java full stack. Then we have for Python full stack with Angular, Python full stack with MERN stack, then a cybersecurity course we are planning. Actually, I think it's running right now. All right, so these are the different course stack that we have. And if you're interested in Python and if you're interested in AI, you can learn any of these Python. In fact, this Python with AI will be the best option you can learn. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if we have it. Yes. I didn't. Oh. Okay. So this is our response. We pass that prompt. Why should explain what is oops in programming in 2 lines? Why are you taking so much? Run. You can see to our previous question, it was thinking so long. You can see the thinking start from here. Oh, it thought and thought and thought. It was thinking, thinking, and after that it came with this answer. You can see the thinking stopped here, and it came with this answer. That is object-oriented programming, the different object-oriented programming concepts. The conclusion. It will not take so much time. I don't know why it's taking so much time. Maybe because I'm running all these things together. Maybe the Google Meet is taking so much time. I mean, so much resource from my computer, the processor and everything. Now, yes. Finally, the next answer I got. I asked for 2 sentences. It gave me a small sentence and a paragraph kind of a large sentence. No, it's 3 sentences. It's 3 lines. I asked for 2 lines and it gave me 3 lines. Bad model. Okay, fine. Anyway, we are getting the reply. Right. Yes, of course, I will add that to Notepad. Of course, I will add. Copy, and I will add that to the Notepad. Then create a, to have the program in a Python file, create a new Python file, then install llama using the command. What was the command? The command was pip install llama. Pip install llama. P install llama. Then the Python code will be this. This will be the Python code. Very simple Python code, you know. You can, with 4 lines of code, you can integrate the large language model into your Python program. Okay. And that's it. Thanks. Thank you guys for patiently participating in this webinar. I'm really sorry to take much of your time. You know, I was planning to finish it within 1 hour. It's now almost 2 hours. 2 hours. Sorry. I'm really bad at grammar. Okay. Do you have anything to ask before you leave? Before we end up the session? Yeah, thank you, Ashida. Thank you. That was so kind of you. Thank you. Any other doubts before we finish? Okay, we know. All right. Thank you. All right. So thank you all. I hope you are sitting for so long. Let's wind up the session, and I will copy all these things and let me paste in the chat so that you can copy it. I pasted the notepad in the notepad contents in the chat. You can copy and paste it in your. Anyway, I will also send the notepad. Is there an option to send the files? No. Fine. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Sachin. Thank you. Thank you all. Have a great time experimenting with the large language model. And the time has just begun. Now we may be having more and more open source large language models coming up, and the Solana people, they will be hosting them in their they'll be they will be conditioning the model and they will be hosting it in their website so that you can download it into your computer and you can use it, or you can upload it into a server and you can sell it for some subscription. Okay. All right, so thank you all. See you in another webinar. Thank you.